Good morning and welcome, cricket fans. Plenty of cricket to look forward to today, and let's hope these two teams are focused and ready to make this a really competitive contest. The ground's looking pretty spectacular today and there's a big crowd, so we should be in for a great day's cricket. As usual, the toss is crucial, so let's get down there to see who calls correctly. With me in the commentary box is David Gower. You had a look at the pitch earlier, David. How do you see it playing?
A very good morning, everyone. The pitch will be very fast with plenty of bounce, so the fast bowlers and wrist spinners should particularly enjoy bowling on it. There are also plenty of runs out here if a batsman can get himself in and accustomed to the pace. I would certainly fancy steaming in on this pitch, as it should be pretty lively.
The umpire signalling a no ball. Lovely shot. Through the gap, and that'll go for 4. That brings up the first boundary in the Indian innings.
That's gone!
Technology has slowly crept into the game, but it still causes great debate, doesn't it, David? Are there any additional areas of the game that could benefit from the use of modern technology in a similar way to the use of the third umpire and slow-motion replays have improved the accuracy of run-out decisions? And if so, what do you think the downside would be?
Well, I guess there'll be a temptation soon for people to start saying, why don't we use Hawkeye to help umpires with LBW decisions and all the other things that Hawkeye can show you, which I'm almost tempted to say, yes, go with it. On the other hand, Hawkeye is not yet 100%. There are times it doesn't quite function, and it can be human error, it can be just a technical glitch. They won't like me saying that, but it's not 100% quite yet. Every time it does work, it's very, very good, but there are times it doesn't quite come up with the answer.
Why do you think left-handed batsmen have a tendency to be more expansive in their stroke play, David?
Do you know, I think it's largely an illusion, that. If you look at right-handers in a mirror, firstly they look better, and secondly they seem to play more shots. The only practical thing I can say, though, is I think that with the natural angle for the right-arm over bowler across the left-hander, you do get that opportunity to score your runs and, of course, take your risks a bit, round about the off-stump and just outside. So if the bowler's line is slightly off, it opens up the opportunities for square cuts, or drives through the covers, that sort of stuff, which maybe is slightly different for the left-hander compared to the right-hander, but I'll stick to my same story. Overall, it's just an illusion.
That was a sloppy piece of cricket. One more onto the team total. Oh, lovely timing there. He picked that up beautifully. That must be close. The left-hander to start a new spell.
That's gone! Keeper's end!
One more run there. Great stroke play.
And again!
Why do you think the Australians have become such a dominant force in both forms of international cricket over the last 10 years?
I think the Australians have been supremely lucky to have just such a wealth of talent. If you look back through the leaders they've had too, Steve Waugh, Ricky Ponting now, the same spirit has carried on. They've been adventurous in their play. But it's all backed up by a very, very good system. Where the Australians stole the march was by setting up their academy early, by getting their next generations of players through early, by setting up a whole system of backroom boys and men who can basically work on every aspect of performance. But
Great
Bowled in.
a momentary lapse of concentration, it's just cost him his wicket.
He's getting a polite round of applause as he makes his way to the pavilion. Let's take another look at that in replay. I'm sure the new batsman will look to play himself in. So, David, here's a question I was asked recently that I'd like to pose to you. Do you think that the lack of cricket played in English state schools will ultimately lead to the marginalisation and ultimately the decline of the game in its country of origin? It was suggested to me that this is where the greatest development efforts should be directed, as the majority of today's youngsters may only have arbitrary links to the sport and may ultimately lose interest.
Well, I think it's vital. I think cricket has to be played in schools for the game to prosper. I know I was very lucky going to two private schools, I have to admit, where the game was very keenly played. We had good people giving good advice, and there was no shortage of cricket at all. And we know full well that there are many schools around the country who just don't bother. Maybe they no longer have a playing field big enough to play a game of cricket on. They just don't bother. They don't have people who care enough. And I think it's a huge, huge shame. I guess a lot depends on how well the England team is doing, because if it's on television there and Harmison's taking his wickets, Flintoff's battering the ball to all parts, Trescothick, Vaughan all making runs, and the England team is doing well, well, people want to watch and people want to play. That in a way is another vital weapon. But if schools don't have facilities, then schools can't play cricket, and there's something seriously wrong.
And again! No!
Batsman played safe there. That was a sloppy piece of cricket.
How's
Big shout.
Captain needs to look at his options. His bowlers are getting hammered.
A quick bowler to continue then.
No ball.
No ball bowled.
Come on, run! And again!
Three runs for the batsman.
No ball.
If you want!
A controlled line and length are crucial to a bowler, aren't they, David?
Well, I don't know any great bowler who's not been able to control his line and length. If you haven't got that, a batsman's got too many opportunities. As soon as you've got line and length as a bowler, whether you're a quick bowler or a medium pacer or a spinner, as soon as that's consistent, then you're starting to make the batsman work hard for his runs and at times hard for survival, and that's when you've got the edge.
No ball.
Very late on that.
England are giving away too many extras out there. They need to keep it tighter.
Catch him!
Chance goes down. Another chance goes begging.
Dear, oh dear, butterfingers. You really need to hold on to your catches in international cricket.
Nothing scored there. Attacking openers seem to be more common today than in the past, David. Why do you think that's happened?
I just think it's a question of attitudes. I think you look at someone like Matthew Hayden, who really comes top of the list as an attacking opener. He's so big and strong, and he's got that sort of attitude which says, look, I'm just going to dominate from the word go. It needs good pitches. You can't just attack at will on pitches that are going to do much, but it needs good pitches. It needs someone with that sort of stature and ability. But of course, it's the most demoralising thing for a new ball bowler to see the ball whistling past, either back past him or to the square leg boundary or to the cover boundary at a rate of knots, because all new ball bowlers love to have slips in, gullies in, attacking fielders in, and as soon as they start hemorrhaging runs, well, it means that the balance of power has changed. So if you've got someone like a Matthew Hayden or a Jayasuriya, anyone of that sort of ilk, who can really hit that new ball hard and take advantage of fields that are set in attacking modes, then of course it just changes the balance of power. It changes the whole balance of the game and gives the power back to the batsman.
Come on, run! Again!
I can just imagine what's going through the bowler's head right now, and he won't be a happy man. He was onto that in a flash. They're having a shout. Out. Right in front. No arguments there. Let's have a look at that from another angle. Plenty of pressure on the new batsman then. An expensive over for Australia, that one. A medium pacer to continue then.
If you want! Again!
Two runs there.
No ball.
If you want! And again!
How do you deal with a leg spinner when the ball's really turning, David?
You just hope the luck's on your side, I tell you, because a leg spinner with the ball turning an awful lot, and with the varieties, you've really got to make sure that you can pick it as best you can. Now, I don't know there are that many players who've picked 100% of every variety of every leg spinner, but if you're good enough to pick most of them, then you just hope you miss the ones that you don't pick, or deal with them somehow, watch them hard off the pitch. And that's what you've got to do. Watch the
No
ball
ball.
closely from the hand, watch the hand closely, watch it when it pitches. And if you're not sure, carry on watching. Don't try and do something extraordinary, don't try and do something over-ambitious. Carry on watching, that gives you a chance of survival.
The umpire signalling a no ball.
No ball.
Go!
What makes a great opening batsman then, David?
Well, there are all sorts of qualities go into an opening batsman, apart from the obvious ones of talent, the ability to hit the ball. You need courage, that's for sure. Opening the batting against the best quicks in the world on a consistent basis, that takes courage. And I think the greatest opening batsmen, of course, have that wonderful ability not just to see the new ball off, which is what so many people try and do, and they also at the same time take the attack to the ball. I mean, I can think immediately of people like, say, Gordon Greenidge and Desmond Haynes. It's a wonderful partnership for the West Indies. Now you've got the likes of Hayden and Langer, played some fantastic shots, or played some fantastic shots at the top of the innings. And as soon as any bowler gets out there on the park, he knows he's got a contest on. And it's a question, if you as a bowler can keep the line and the length absolutely spot on, you might just keep your man quiet at the other end. If not, that sort of batsman, that sort of opening batsman is going to take it to the cleans. Super shot. He really punished the bowler there.
The fielder hardly had a chance to move.
No ball.
Just the one!
What kind of position should the batsman be in when he's on the hook, David?
Well, I think the first thing with the hook shot is to get that back foot across and back. So many batsmen just, as it were, swivel on the back foot without really moving. But if you play it properly, there's a definite movement of that back foot into position. A bit like Ian Chappell, who was admittedly a...
Oh, and he's bowled him.
Well, he can't complain about that one. He was comprehensively beaten by that delivery.
This was how the innings ended. A left-hander at the crease now. He's hit that well.
And again!
Great shot. What a way to get off the mark. That was a confident shot.
Catch him!
chance goes down. They'll be gutted to have put that one down.
That really is not good cricket.
And the end of the over. A slow bowler to start a new spell.
It's his right arm over the wicket.
Well, what's the umpire going to say about this one? The batsman was all over the place with that one. Oh, comprehensively bowled.
Seems like miles back the pavilion when you got out cheaply.
Let's see that in slow motion. New batsman in, and absolute concentration required now. He's gone for a duck.
That was a vital wicket, as now the tail is exposed.
Let's have a look at that in slow motion. I'm sure the new batsman will look to play himself in.
Come on, run!
I think it's a good tactic, bowling the quicks round the wicket to left-handers, do you?
I think you've got to pick your left-hander. I think you've got to pick your situation. I remember someone like, say, Rodney Hogg. One of my first tours to Australia, Rodney Hogg went round the wicket because he felt there was a chance to exploit something out there. And I remember thinking, right, I've just got to adapt. You've got to sort of change your stance. You change the angle to try and make it the same sort of angle from delivery of the ball to, as it were, delivery of the bat. You try and make sure you've changed your appreciation of where your off stump is, so what you can leave alone changes ever so slightly. And it's about learning. As soon as you learn how to bat against different tactical area, then it becomes second nature to you. But there are certainly some players, some left-handers, who just don't like right arm round the wicket at them because they suddenly don't know where their off stump is, and they start playing at things that will miss the stumps or would have missed the stumps, playing at things wider of off stump, even around the wicket, compared to the sort of lines that have been trying to cope with from over the wicket.
That's 6 runs from the over. A quickie to start a new over.
It's his right arm.
Threw the shot too early then. No runs off that delivery.
Just the one! Again!
I was involved in a discussion recently about who the greatest wicketkeeper of all time was. It's not an easy question to answer, as the role of the wicketkeeper has changed somewhat in the modern era, with the emphasis being placed on batting skills rather than pure wicketkeeping skills. Many of the obvious choices were bandied about: Alan Knott, Les Ames, Rodney Marsh, Ian Healy and so on. But one name came up that surprised me, and that was Andy Flower. Looking at his record, it's pretty impressive, with a test batting average in excess of 50. How would you rate him, David?
Yeah, the greatest keeper of all time. I'm going to have to say Alan Knott, only because he's the one I've had the closest look at. Knott, he was supremely good, stood up to the stumps as well. Just imagine that combination, Knott and Underwood. Great keeper and a medium pace left arm spinner who, when the wicket was damp, used to make that ball do all sorts of things, and Knott he would keep immaculately. I've seen him take some extraordinary catches, stood up to the stumps there, where he's had to move the gloves an awful long way. Catches that nowadays wouldn't be taken by most keepers. They'd be lucky to get a glove on it at all. I think at the end of it all, he's my choice, Alan Knott.
That was a sloppy piece of cricket. He's hit that very hard.
Keeper's end!
The batsman picks up one more.
Yes! Keeper's end!
That's another single there.
No ball.
No ball.
He plays that shot really well. It does bring him a load of runs.
He picked that up beautifully.